good. I'm very happy to be casting this. And again, winner of this qualifies directly to the spring final in Moscow.
It's going to be a real tantalizing prospect for Complexity. 3 bodies piling up for Zywoo. Obviously, Vitality to the defense first. Nobody else inside of middle to really hold this back, so they will find numbers inside Connector. But Apex even spamming off his USP, not going to be finding headshots as these Ts get dangerously close to the bomb site. And Shots' position's known. Poison clears him close. And 3 CTs double back towards Ticket. In fact, 4 of them.
Do they have the utility for the retake is the thing. Smoke comes out initially, bomb's not down yet.
Yeah, it's not even a retake. They're pummeling into this bomb site before the plant comes through, and it's going to cost them 2 bodies, 3 bodies. Only Alex, back by Ticket, pinned down and flanked. That's Complexity with a pistol.
I love this round from both teams. I like that Complexity go for this pistol strat, because if we look at Shox, he's the man of the hour. He sits in sandwich. He's the one that has to take contact, and he has the worst spot to fight against the choke points that they're attacking from. If you know that players are coming from mid, you don't want to be in sandwich, so it's already too late when he comes up this way. But then when Vitality comes down to the 4v5, they make an interesting adjustment. They don't just go for a standard retake where they'll probably lose. They try to pull the trigger early, throw the smoke into the site, and allow everyone to come in. They still lost the fights, but I like the attempt in the 4v5.
Yeah, you saw the moment where Complexity were caught off guard, but they kind of got back in control of the situation quickly. Bomb planter doesn't try to commit and awkwardly die. No. They prepared for the push.
We've got a team huddle from Vitality in the A site. Just USPs here. There's a Complexity go for mid control, as you always should. Keep long distances here.
Quick smoke break.
Yeah, very popular among CS pros.
Ooh, nice position.
This is the boost that drove Simple nuts on his stream. He's like, I don't see these boosts at majors.
Ooh.
This is the matchmaking special.
Still empty-handed. Unfortunately, when that first smoke fades, the second one's in its place, so...
It's a tough call. You know, a lot of rounds lately are leads over towards Cat, splits on the B side on the anti-ecos, but because everyone knows that that's what everyone wants to do, it's natural that, you know, you might get hit on the A site, so it's good to stack there every once in a while. Either way, Complexity picked the correct site. They save everybody here, and now suddenly the tables turn a bit, right? When it goes into the post plant, before the post plant, the pistols want to try to get kills. In the post plant, it's much less favored for the pistols to try to get kills, and instead they can try to hold exits. But more importantly, they've got like a number tag. I mean, they've got like a lot of money that can be made if they get hunted down. So it's important that they don't die first and foremost. So these Mac 10s certainly want to get used up. You know, Obo is totally down to rebuy next round.
100%. Gonna boil down the time a little bit longer before he decides to do so. Here we have the Betway live odds favoring Vitality, but ooh, just the one. There's a second Mac 10 in play, however. That belongs to Rush, and he gets what Obo wanted. Yep. 2 follow-up frags between him and Config, just toppling those USPs and pushing Vitality into their first buy.
I take that trade any day of the week. You know, you gain so much money off the Mac 10s. You want to have a good gun into this round. We look at the buy from Vitality. We've got the op in play already. Og, Famas, M4, and another M4 to couple with that. The money has been spent, but there's not a lot of grenades in play. This makes this a very sketchy round. This is the kind of round on CT side that you might see an aggressive option take place to get a 5v4 quickly, because you're not going to win the long con, you're not going to win the nade game.
Here we have it. 2 players boosting up into ladder room. No fast cat, but there are initially 2 members of Complexity here at the top of mid. Obo coming back around after escorting Blame F through underpass. He's got to go make sure nobody had pushed ramp. Obviously, Rush taking Palace is one thing, but there's pressure all across the map at the moment. Most certainly focused on mid.
Getting tagged with the smoke. They're just going to push him off a little bit. Yeah, the round bleeds down a little bit. They're maintaining CPL control here with a window presence as well. Alex depends on when he's going to peak. Not a bad fight here for Blame F. I wouldn't be surprised if he's able to mow him down.
Yep, element of surprise plus the Mac 10, but 9mm rounds not going to get the job done. Config lends a helping hand. Still, 4v4. Zywoo posted with his op. Sees the trajectory of the Molotov, so that's going to indicate the Palace pinch, but he is so scoped in on Connector that he dies. Still 3v3 as Apex takes the top of the staircase. Bomb will be planted, so it seems, because Obo, what do you know, goes aggressive, holds down Connector as the plant comes through.
That's a situation where you wonder if he had one more bullet, does Obo die and then
Right.
Vitality win? Like, that is super close.
Almost one of those sketchy moments where he just peeks into the spray.
Wow. Yeah, great spray control. Obviously there, you know, bullets are going to go off to the right for you, but if you try to adjust, you're going to miss. So that's nice. Good calmness from Obo. Very, very nicely done with the SG. Back on pistols already for Vitality. A very decent split here for Complexity to start off the pace of the first rifle rounds, and that's off of not having to upgrade very much. Again, Blameless had that MAC-10 as well. Obo gets the opening kill into round 4, and we start to heat things up.
Yeah, easy indicator there. We saw the one flashbang from Alex go over the top of B apps, so Obo presumes someone's being set up for the push, and he calls it right. Config wastes no time getting up cap, but there is a little bit of a danger here. He does have that bomb, and he was alone, but it seems like he's going to cool off and wait for Poison to join him.
Once again, we see this attraction on the anti-ecos, this allure of the B site coming up cat, and now the CTs have started to take heed.
Great rotation.
Yeah, but Blamef is keeping an eye on the A site, and he's not hearing a lot of noise. Maybe he calls this back.
Yeah, that's all really going to boil down to how rushed Complexity really feel in this moment. And they figure it out.
Nice. We talked yesterday with Config on the Overtime show, and he said that Blamef was the best IGL that he's ever played with.
It's quite high praise.
That's quite high praise.
He also said that if he had to multitask to the level of Blamef in the server, that his head would explode.
He said it would explode. Yeah.
And
he's got a big head, so you know that'd be a mess.
It'd
be a big mess too.
It's like 2 Obos in one.
Yeah.
So
Blabo.
Team Vitality not having found anything. I mean, it looked like a good rotate, but then they sat on that B site just as stagnantly as they did on A at the start. You know, good mid-round call, but they don't double it back. And so their only reward is nothing.
Is nothing. Staying alive, I guess. Yeah, Shock's the only one bored here. At least everyone else gets to play the game. So we're back into the T-spawn, and it's a good round for Complexity. Very strong anti-eco once again. We are starting off with a lot of momentum. They look quite good, gotta say.
0.
The half armor getting recycled is nice because that's an extra lot of utility actually for Vitality on these buys. Like as we can see, Alex recycles his armor and doesn't take any damage, so he upgrades for 350, buys the whole utility belt, and has $50 left. Like that is optimal.
Calculated.
It's going to be 2 ops this time. I don't mind this adjustment, you know. The last round that they had low utility. This round they also have low utility. They just have this op. It helps to balance it out a little bit, but it's still a little bit sketchy, I think, for Vitality. You know, they want to have as many nades as they possibly can, especially with Complexity not throwing in these fast rounds. They're doing a lot of defaults. And testing for a lot of reactive grenades.
This one's wonky, though. They're going to go 3 players out Palace, and if Alex gets drawn towards ramp, then it really does fall on ZywOo. He's got himself the first one, but he's so concerned with Connector when nobody's there. There's so many members dropping out from Palace. Only one has actually hit the site, and now he goes down with bomb. Obo slain in the middle of the A site, but Blame brings it back with at least 1 frag here. 2v2 with 3 ops in play.
And Blame knows that ZywOo was last spotted Connector. So now Poison is going to reroute. Bomb is in the middle of nowhere. This is a tough round to win, but once you start to bleed down the time, the spots that were just played by the CTs no longer become safe. We'll start to see them move a little bit. Shox is already starting to wonder about the thought of a big flank. So all you have to do for Complexity, try to cut noise just for a second. No matter what you do, if it's re-aggressing or picking new spots here, they're grouping up at the A ramp. Could be a very powerful attack.
Yeah, might just go right ahead and try to play the trade game with that op in front. Get the 1-point kill. Set Blame up to trade, perhaps. Molotov goes deep jungle. It's really Shox who may be set up here. Poison crosses over. He's going to try to plant behind triple, and Blame's ready for the peek, but he's still got cover. So it's all in the post plant. 1 versus 2. He has no utility, but same can be said for Vitality. Off the top of stairs comes ZywOo. He's going to understand that this player has gone on the retreat.
Oh, if someone drops a shot, he gets a free kill.
Yeah. It's going to take a hell of a headshot, though.
Oh, whoa.
There's one for you, ZywOo.
A sliver, like a centimeter, a couple millimeters. He basically had to, I don't even know, probably saw the radio on his shoulder and decided to aim for the head through the wall.
Yeah, called in his own airstrike.
Right.
But there it is, Vitality on the board with both of the ops that they went for in the investment here this round. Big kills from Zywoo, shaving one off of Palace, stopping Obo.
This is a tough angle to cover, obviously, so it's nice that Shock comes in very slowly, and yeah, wow.
Yep, little shoulder.
Wow. Could have actually tagged him without killing him, but wasn't a headshot, so that's something to note. But if it's going to be around they win barely, just off of something, a very special moment, you could say that Complexity had the same luck in a previous rifle round, so now we're on even footing. Everyone else having to spend their money as well. Important swing round here, 1 to 4, and it looks like the nades are coming over on the A site. Nobody's at mid.
Yep, big commitment, big execution. Alex, though, he's behind the firebox. Curious to see whether Complexity go ahead and check this config. Oh man, he's not even gonna pull the trigger yet. And this is beautiful because with the bomb being dropped, now Vitality can just hold off and really let Alex milk this if he's even needed. Another frag picked up, this time by Zywoo, to get them that man advantage. And you can see him, check his face, calming, telling. Now he makes his move, he lines up 3 and takes them all. Wow. Excellent patience from Alex.
That was crazy. Sometimes it never works out that way. It never actually works out that way, and it pans out that way today for Alex. Really nicely done. Just carefully coming out so we can see the X-ray, all 3 players in his crosshairs. Would have loved to know what an op could have done there.
Yeah.
But that he'll take that.
Kebab.
300 damage.
You know, funnily enough, he pulled that same stint versus Navi with a MAC-10 deep banana. So if we have to praise Alex for anything, it's patience this weekend.
Whoa, this is a fast beat, but look, there's 3 in the site. 2 are gonna push off Cat, but they're rushing it.
So much fire at their feet. Obo to 31 health, so that's an easy first pickup from RPK. Shocks, shaves one off, and RPK still comfortable on this bomb site. So many bodies falling around Vitality as they take their 3rd round.
Wow, I don't know if they were anticipating a fast B play. I wonder if they were going to go 2 off Cat there and think about how they could control mid, leave 1 person in the B site, and then as soon as Complexity decided to rush, be like, well, we've already got yeah, that's great. They've got the setup. Yeah, I wonder if that round went on a little bit longer, what would have happened there for Vitality's setup. But you could say that they cover that option as well. If they go off of Cat, they've still got 2 players very fast rotate, and it's maybe the same fate for Complexity. We don't know, and it looks like they might go ahead and try something similar, though. We've got Rush at A ramp. What kind of nades do we have to work with? He can't throw any kind of fake, but he can be used as a body bait. We know they're posturing up for the B hit, and it looks like he's about to make presence. Let's see how it pans out.
Just needs a head to pop. RPK, another one, same position. Mirrored image of the last round, just less to work with for Complexity. So it does very much feel like they're about to give away a 4th round, allow Vitality to tie things up.
Yeah, is that a head spotted? Ooh, well, it will be now.
Oof. Head spotted, head shotted, Shocks. Dropped, but Apex trades it, and Poison walks unknowingly into his death. So now the pistol's picked apart. See, RPK, one after another.
That's what we're talking about, right? Like, he is so good at staying in the same position, but still continuing to win duels. Like, all these players coming out to pre-fire him, they're coming from different angles, but it's his favorite spot. He's going to hold on to it. He's really, really strong rifling in those positions.
And on top of that, did a really good job of letting that Cat player kind of take attention at one point. You know, when they were just facing the window at first, they were looking for him, but he hid. Then you get the attempt off of Catwalk. It dies. And RPK comes back in with the win. So 4 rounds apiece. Complexity have lost their lead.
I like the tempo change that we saw from Complexity to make it a fast B. I think they got a little bit unlucky with the initial setup from Vitality because I think they did have them focusing on mid. But we move into the next round, and I think it's just important that Complexity have thrown in a fast round just for conditioning's sake, right? If a team does a default every single round, then the other team is going to hold grenades for as long as possible. So it's good that they at least have them scared, even though it did cost them a round. It was on some type of force buy, so it's not the worst case in the world for Complexity. But it looks like we're back to regular antics. We've got a couple of players up at mid, 2 in the B halls, and here again, they're going to beg the attention of Vitality on Cat in window and in connector. But it looks like for the meantime, it's Zywoo on a 1-man mission. Blame F trying to subvert the defense by going underpass, and Poison holding it down in halls. He's going to spot and know now where RPK is holding from. It's a scary thing for him because he can only do so much about it.
It's also scary to think that even if that smoke grenade were to fade, he may have to clear those corners slowly. So it would take so much time if he were to commit over towards this B apps that maybe the team gets bogged down. For that reason, they've moved him to pick up bomb and join his teams at the bottom of mid.
It's a little bit too wide on the scope.
Yeah, but now that flashbang, he's in an awkward position to, no surprise, Rush able to pick up that first one, but a headshot versus Apex too. He falls back as Alex starts to swing this closer to an even keel. Obo's position known as he jumps over. Rush with 3 kills this round. Let's see if RPK can do it again. He gets that first headshot, and he moves deeper into the bomb site, finds the next layer of cover until Obo drops him and leaves Shox with everything to do.
He can only do it so many times. And we look at the X's on the map, we see that there's so many deaths. There are 3 all at the A ramp as Vitality struggle to make an adaptation. This is a symptom of the mid control. And because Rush was so fantastic there, it looked like they were going to win. Now, it's actually Shox in the 1-on-2. Is this possible, Connor?
Yeah, I think so, Mo. Obo maybe giving him a slight chance to work with if Shox wants to take it. Bomb already a quarter of the way gone. He's got himself an incendiary, which very well could play into Blame F's position. Yeah, he's back on Firebox. So if he mollies him out, flushes the first frag, and then just has to focus with Rush, who has 23 HP, that would be wonderful. But he has played the time so low, and he gets nothing instead. Complexity take their 5th.
And his P250 is a little bit busted, isn't it?
Wow. Shooting blanks.
My goodness. Yeah, he could have tossed that. If he tossed the incendiary first, he doesn't know if it's Firebox, but if he tossed the incendiary first, we've got a real clutch on our hands. Shox obviously has some of the best clutch statistics of any player in CSGO history.
This from Rush.
Yeah, and this is just such a, man. And again, he's getting the kills funneled into him, right? Maybe Vitality realized like this is their favorite adaptation.
Fair.
But first of all, great flash for himself because all of that could have been for nothing if ZywOo just gets the op shot right away.
Or if ZywOo's not even playing that aggressive. But I have to feel like Connector being pressured. We've seen ZywOo float in jungle, watch Palace, fire a bullet, and then be kind of scared about Connector. Well, this time he tries to circumvent that, pushes forward to the forefront of the bomb site, and even then, he's dropped. This time, empty-handed.
So much money here for Vitality. Like they haven't bought any of the guns this round, but they've got 3 players that have over 9K. So they're going to be able to buy everything they want. It's going to be good to see them with a full utility belt. Would like to know if they're going to try a double op setup again. But I think the main issue is utility and mid control for them. So if one thing that they haven't tried that they maybe could is something aggressive at mid. ZywOo himself, who plays Connector, like let's contrast it with Stewie plays Connector. When he plays Connector, he's all over the place. ZywOo has been a lot more timid in some sense. He's getting really frisky on the A ramp, but not so much out at mid, not in front of the smoke, not looking for the cross kills. Blame F has shown himself a couple of times, though sometimes the complexity flashes can really assist in helping them get to top boxes. Some more aggressive nades to the top of mid, with ZywOo being more present here could make a difference. He's going to get into CPL. Great flashes, though, from Complexity. Pushes him back a bit, and then Config absolutely destroys him.
Yeah, you called it. A little bit of aggression coming out of Vitality, but unsuccessful. RPK, he knows Catwalk's compromised, so he's going to try to cheat his way into the apartments. Poison with his op, taking Apex out of the window and establishing a 5v3.
Yeah, and you'd think this round is over, but you can't call it too soon. RPK in these moments is, I feel like when he's got less people talking to him, it's when he shines the most. Bomb comes his way. He's standing close smoke here. He doesn't need help to do well in this spot, so that's something. 71 HP, let's see what he's made of.
You know, normally it takes a crew of 5 to man a tank, but this one's a one-man show. Obo gonna walk right into it. There's the headshot. Ooh, tough spot though for him to do anything better. He was pinned in, and Config finds timing versus Shox, standing in no man's land. It's just gonna leave them to ask themselves where has Alex got off to. Well, he is on a hard flank, and Bomb will be down by the time he arrives.
Not even worth going for, obviously. Alex probably just trying to get a free kill if possible. But once they let him know that they have him locked down, he's just going to fall back. It's going to be a tough save. What's interesting about this round, obviously, is, well, just how important ZywOo's death is, because Config takes his spot in CPL, doesn't pick up his op, just sits in that position, and then once his teammates execute on B, comes through in the perfect timing, kills the second player in the site. So that goes so well for Complexity. They're playing very simply in a sensible, practical way. And I feel like Vitality, once again, could be doing more at mid. Although we have ZywOo in a better spot. They do a great job of neutralizing him by flashing him off, first of all, off the cat jump, and then when he falls off, they flash him again back into CPL. And then Config, he seems very prepared for that peek because he knows what his flashes cover, and so he figures, I can pre-fire this angle. This is the position that you have to fall back from because of our flashes that we threw when we came up mid.
Big brain information gains. ZywOo, awkward spot for him again, trying to find space to work with within these smokes. Gotta say, man, the flashbangs and the consistency in these smoke grenades from Complexity, that's gotta be so hard to handle. Vitality coming out of the gates are just blind in terms of what the hell is going on.
So here's the scary part, right? If you look at the CTs right now, Cat's the only player that can play by himself and get information at the same time. The two players in Connector, they have to go either re-aggress or fall back into very passive spots, which makes the entire map, a lot weaker. Now they've gone and scouted things around. Nobody's at mid from Complexity to jump into the window, So this come down to Alex here under the balcony, but he's got a crossfire as well.
He's not gonna get anything. ZywOo still just holding on the trigger, but he will miss the shot. It was Apex who got one off the top of the stairs. Config, late play from middle, dropped by RPK as the two Cat players try to come into the mix, but it's an even 3v3. And ZywOo still patient as ever. Poison honed in on him, looks away at the worst possible moment. But this retake, still not happening. ZywOo, he's given away that jungle control. He's gonna come over, play shoulder to shoulder with Shox. Both CTs starting to work into this bomb site. They dink the Opper, and Shox takes Oboe. But Poison, with low health, still manages one. Blame takes two, and that's it. It's Vitality to close the distance yet again. 5 rounds to 6.
Much better. Obviously, great retake. And it comes down to the wire on this defuse. It seems like he's got it for sure, but yeah, it's about to turn green. But at the end of the day, RPK saves it. Now, for Complexity coming across the A site, they get the Alex trade no problem. I thought maybe they're in a spot where they could have abused the fact that they had everybody pushed off of mid, and if they had somebody in window, that could have been a flank. They did come back with somebody. I think it was Config who came back to try to take a fight. He loses that duel. Could have been a critical duel. But more than that, I think they still had good odds to win after Alex dies. It's just that they don't have the smokes to go down right side site for the two players who were watching window. You know, they didn't even watch the cross and trade out Alex right away. So there's a chance to avoid them completely.
Again.
Now we're back to mid. Oh, what? He just gets spammed down in the connector.
How?
Is that what just happened with the AK?
Joey, I want that one.
We're gonna have to save that. Yeah, that's insane. Headshot through the wall. ZywOo tries to take a peek. Alex just replenishes his spot immediately. He's like, okay, well, I've got to pick up the slack.
And the op. Will Poison peek back into it, though? That's the bigger question. I'm telling by the quantity of bullet holes in the wall there. You know, one of those is ZywOo's death.
Look at Apex. Oh.
She comes stampeding to the top of middle. Ooh, but Config goes one better.
Great reactions.
2 crisp headshots. And a lurk out from Blame F, but Alex is making noise. He sees the barrel, and that's all it takes. Now, information gained. He knows exactly where Shox is at, but he can't best him in the duel, so the 1 versus 4 is possible, albeit improbable. Rush comes up and seals the deal.
These complementary frags that are happening are just so impressive from a mechanical standpoint. Config on that second kill. I think Shox as well, the frag he got, and this is just a pre-fire through the smoke.
Poison.
ZywOo wasn't even ready to play, right? He was just in the waiting room, but
Nice.
it turns out you can get killed in the lobby. He was just chilling there in connector, waiting for the round to start, and gets destroyed. That's nuts, and it's like a unraveling of a ball of yarn. After that kill, Alex takes his spot, but nobody does anything good enough to bring the control back into Vitality's hands.
Right, you had already lost your top mid push, you had lost your Cat player. That Cat man could have been holding underpass for Blame F's walkout. Like you said, starts to unravel, just like the rounds now. As suddenly, Complexity, full steam ahead into this A-bomb site. They clear it with just 1 loss. And every time Vitality seemed to take that step to close the gap in score, Mo, nope, Complexity have other ideas. 8 rounds to the 5 of Vitality. That is a comfortable 3-round lead on the T side of Mirage.
And look at this. It's already desperate measures. They are going to go for the Falmus buy, half armor. Another round potentially where they don't have a good enough utility to pull it off. They've got decent grenades. They don't have any kits to work with. Complexity have the memo here. They have a good read on the situation. and they can get the bomb down. There's some dark times here for Vitality. Potential push into the A halls. Once again, long grenades. You've got to do something like get close to choke points or take more map control. If I'm Vitality, I'm very scared to get this close to Palace and this close to A ramp without my mid control once again, because we know that that threat is there from Complexity to just crack connector ride open. So we'll see if they attempt the push or if they just hold it. But they might be relying here on Apex to make sure that they're clearing connector. Let's see if the connector pressure forces anybody out of position. Yeah, they're running the same strat.
Another smoke goes down just as Shox was looking and hoping for information. None of that is gained. Well-timed flashbang. Poison. Oh, lucky to be alive perhaps, but Rush, he's only going to get himself one. ZywOo, good cover. Now, there it is. Spam from Obo. Takes the man advantage back up for Vitality. Blame, he's going to try to late lurk from underpass again. Poison's position should be known. Remember, he took that first contact and Shox catches Blame in mid. So it's a clutch attempt. And a warning shot over the bow. Shox drops him from staircase. Vitality finding 6.
Not bad for what they had to work with, was it? Yeah, and you think Complexity coming in with that strat again, that's the setup they wanted to find. They wanted to see they had somebody holding for the Palace push and A ramp push. Good flash from Vitality at first on the A ramp. You know, they got that free information off, so they had an idea of what was to come. But yeah, Complexity. I think they knew that they were going to get those kills, and they couldn't pull it off. So we'll now move into the last round of the half. Vitality slightly back on their feet. Complexity still looking strong. And can I just say there's been great frags on both sides.
Yeah.
There have been really fantastic frags that make me feel confident that everybody feels good this game.
Yeah, I'm not feeling that ring rust we've been talking about.
Exactly. Yeah, the land jitters are off. It looks like Complexity are looking to continue what they brought yesterday.
And I think that kind of naturally happens when there's so much on the line. You know, it's not opening matches in the group anymore. This is the winner of the match going straight to the spring finals.
Here it is, folks. Round 15.
One last chance for Vitality to close that distance. They've done a really good job at staying just a couple steps behind Complexity. It was both teams to win 4 in a row, and then they've been trading 2-1. But here it is, full-blown execution onto the A site. Obo blinded in its entirety. RPK trying to get a flash off. That should set up Apex, who peeks for 2 kills. But it's the Tetris man to drop him. Blame stepping up, and Shox stepping through the smoke with just another. All on Alex yet again, and he is nowhere to be found.
He's so far. He has no comms that he can use at this point. He just knows that they're all over the A site. He's moving in a little bit late. Poison drops an off shot. There's a chance here for Alex as he collects a little bit more data.
He has the second known, sprays him down, but swapping to the pistol, is that going to be enough? No, sir. Complexity 9-6 at the end of their T side.
And it really feels like Complexity have got a lot more in the books. I think there's a chance here that they can really surprise. Could you first of all, could you imagine if they top group here in the group of death? That would be, oh my gosh, there would be egg on everyone's face.
4 O's, the group of death.
All right, let's, yeah, screw it, why not, man? Let's go, I'm down.
All aboard. Well, it is not there yet, not nearly. Team Vitality, we know what they are capable of. And they are going to milk the pistol. Bomb still sitting at the depths of top mid, but there's the opening kill. RPK, he flirts out A ramp.
Yeah, he launched the missile from A ramp. That's the P250 coming into play, obviously. Ooh. Look how spread Vitality are. They have so many options here. We can know what they're going to do, but they might not even know. Look at the player they're tethering off of. It's Apex. They'll start to work back towards him, so we know now it's B, but so do Complexity.
If Vitality take more time, then maybe Complexity second guess this. Or if these 2 players go in first and then really make it feel like it is a rotation back to A, yeah, ZywOo. He's meant to just be that late lurk, but here's Blame with the kill versus bomb. Oh, that was up through underpass. We didn't even catch it. Amidst all of this, they now have the information and they're starting to get the kills. A 3 versus 2 with 30 seconds left. They could sprint this bomb towards A, and that's exactly what they're gonna try.
Poison, they can hear it. They can hear it for sure. They know the rotation's coming in. Will they be a step too late? The spot is out from Obo. He doesn't realize that they've crossed past connector. Poison will have to take the round into his own hands. Spot someone crossing. Bomb cannot go down. 10 seconds remain.
They have to kill him. They have to kill him first, or else he peeks on the plant. And now, Alex with everything to do. 4 seconds. It's go on.
Wow.
Complexity take double digits. Complexity take both pistols.
Wow, they make magic happen there. That was a fantastic round from Complexity. I was wondering how they pulled everyone off the A site and felt so comfortable going over to B. They almost bit hard on the fake, but it was Blame F in the underpass to go and clear B out early. He was going to get the information on whether or not it was a fake, and here he is spotting the bomb carrier.
Damn.
The Galaxy brain of Complexity, the IGL of the team, and the one who really brought this pistol round together. So now we're back on pistols for Vitality. Sad scenes here for them, 6-10, and they don't have a single piece of utility to their names.
No, without that bomb plant, because of poison, kind of playing the thorn in their side, but whoa, that's a fast boost, and it's gonna give them a scout to play off of. It's instantly taken back, however. Blame in the right place at the right time yet once more. He's found 4.
Money, money, money. They
So much
collect it.
cash.
Yeah, all those caps for the best possible price. They make so much money on that round. It's all going into and just feeding those MP9. So now we look at the round. What will be the makeup of the guns here? They're going to be once again struggling on grenades slightly. It looks like Apex can buy whatever gun he wants, but then make a sacrifice on utility. So will this be a short round from Vitality? That's going to be the most curious part. Complexity can pull out a lot of options as well, and they'll waste no time. Up the A ramp, not a single nade. That one flash to come over top.
Ooh, Rush, that's a rough one. Nobody would want to be in his position. MP9 versus 3 members of Vitality on ramp. And Alex, excellent timing there from the underpass flank. Zywoo, hot entry versus Config. This A site has fallen.
Wow, unfazed. They are unfazed with how fast they moved on that round. Rush was literally sitting at Dennis on the side of the wall by himself on the A site with an MP9. He had no idea there was even the potential threat that Vitality pulled that strat off. So a strong call by them, obviously. And I guess they realized that Complexity didn't have to upgrade too many guns. So maybe trying to bank on that. And then further, they're in a position, again, where they have been very often, which is one where they don't have a lot of utility to work with. So they themselves didn't have many options. Like, they couldn't make that a long round. You can't really get mid-control for real without having multiple smokes, and they were only, I think, down to 2 out of spawn. And it could have been a B rush if they wanted to, but either way, it was fast, and that's kind of what we anticipated, but Complexity didn't. So the difference now is a little bit slimmer. The upgrades will come in for Complexity. It's still got lots of money to work with, it seems. Or no, whoa, actually they do not.
There will be
maybe a couple more rebuys than I had initially expected. Can we take a look at how many rebuys they had in these past couple of rounds?
Just the one.
Just, yeah, this is the 2 deaths. Yeah, interesting.
Cash just wasn't all there for them.
Yeah, it didn't work out too well. So they're going to take the M4 and try to make the most of that. They've got Rush on the MP9 already in the halls in a much safer space. It's going to hear a couple nades going the way of his A-ramp players, but there's not 5 A-ramp this time.
It's a big opening for Vitality as well. Remember, only 2 players dropped in the last round. So they too racking up a bit of cash here, and they're going to find that one deagle of Complexity on this B site. They managed to avoid the M4, circumvent the MP9. No issue whatsoever. Even the follow-ups at this point, it's just going to be the USPs.
Yeah.
Complexity knowing what's already gone, that M4 is so valuable to them.
Yeah, interesting to see like just how poor exactly Complexity are, but they'll have some more to work with. Another strong round here from Vitality.
It's an upgrade. A little Krieg for Rush.
I'm curious about the Batway odds, actually. We think about this now. Vitality are favored.
Of course.
Wow, yeah.
Again, this is the match result, not just the map result. Starting off here on Mirage. You know, Complexity, they were really cheeky with that Vertigo pick yesterday versus Astralis. Oh, no, excuse me. Really cheeky in the sense that they got Astralis to pick Vertigo, a map they wanted to end up on. So it's almost like they had 2 map picks. We start on Mirage, we move to Inferno, and maybe we'll end up on Overpass.
That helped out quite a bit.
It's a good chance for everybody to buckle in. We find ourselves with a pause.
We know that Complexity are not going to get caught off guard by another fast play, whether it's A ramp or B. But it's good that Vitality have gotten to a position where they're going to expel a little bit more utility than they're comfortable with in the beginning, just to make sure, just to be sure of it. We haven't seen what Vitality can do with mid-control if they decide to take that early on in their default. And other than that, there's so much. This is kind of an establishing shot here for Complexity on the CT side, because they never had a full gun round. In this round they'll have an op. This round they won't have any MP9s to work with. And so we'll learn a lot more about how comfortable they are in this half. So we round out this timeout that was taken. And we move into full swing. Config and Rush have compromised a little bit on the utility they have to work with. Alex comes out with a dry peek at mid. There's no offer to meet him. Oh my god, Blame F is going to have almost had another thing coming with that peek into connector. They're doing a lot of things dry, which is kind of interesting.
It's confident, it's dangerous, but so is Config. There's his first one. Knowing that there are more players inbound, he tries to lock it down, but he can't, so it falls onto the shoulders of Obo. And he's got himself just the one. Did some decent follow-up damage there. Apex on 52, but regardless, the B site belongs to Vitality, and they're going to punch in this bomb.
Look at how many grenades are still being held by Vitality. They have so much to work with that smoke, the 2 flashes, the HE. They have a good chance in this post plant. They didn't spend anything on mid, and Shox comes out with a kill, not having to use a piece of utility himself, and that is going to be round locked up here as Vitality take another full rifle.
That is the round, the kill from Shox versus Blame that convinces Complexity to fall off of it. You know, it's a classic. 3 versus 3. You know you've done some damage. You're still holding on to some utility. You understand the value of what you have to lose. But they had already let some of these rounds slip by. They understand Vitality are closing this distance.
This is just not something that can continue to happen for the rest of the half. But because they win these rounds early, they can put them away and then move on to what you would see as a more typical T-side half with brand new strategies. So there's a lot for them to work with. And that's a nice way to create this, to create like a proper comeback where you have so many rounds where you have to be creative, right? Like not having a great first half put them in a position where they need like 9 T rounds to be able to come back and win. So. Whoa, Blame F, easy first kill. That's a deagle shot in the head of Apex, who is trying to come out A ramp.
Yep.
Interesting. He decided to do that really quickly, yeah.
And that sets up Poison. We talked about how just last round you mentioned Vitality doing a lot of things dry right now. Well, there was no smokes up to prevent Poison from going for that peak. So he extends us into the 5 versus 3. Obo also on the Desert Eagle here at the back of the B bomb site. Config, he is by his side with even less to work with, but Shox caught switching guns, and this is enough for Config to at least burn some time off, but they will still find comfort here. Oh! Zywoo peeking into Poison, popping him with the AWP. Alex understands the flank's compromised, so he ejects through the window down onto site and wants to get closer to the man in market. That's Rush, who just picked up a kill and pushes the in-game leader of Vitality to the clutch. Off of the Molotov, he tries, but he's denied. Complexity finding a round.
If Alex gets through the window, we've got a fresh 1v1, right? Anything can happen at that point. That's crazy that Rush does that off of the jump across just to bait out of a shot. That is nuts. Complexity win the ego. I feel like Vitality were in the mode where they were just doing what works. They got away with the drive.
Yes, they got away with it 2-3 times. They tried it once more, and this time it cost them. Blames Deeg, Poison's op, and then chaos on this B site.
The thing is, it's a much more risky round to do it on because Complexity are on the eco.
Of course,
so,
less to lose.
Yeah, it's like why would you split up so thinly versus all these pistols and individual duels? Like that's kind of what they want.
It's a momentary lapse of focus. You saw the utility go down instantly after Poison got that AWP pick, but they gave him a long enough window of time for him to capitalize on it.
Nice setup on the B site. They've struggled to defend there versus the fast cap plays in general. There they have Config, who plays a patient baiting game as his teammate gets a kill and he waits for that USP trade. That was nice by him. They delayed just a little longer after that as well. We're going to have no ops this round here for Vitality, and they certainly had the option. So something of interest to point out here. Zywoo's decided not to pick up the op. Config going aggressive with the op on Cat, dodging flash as best he can, but he'll end up eating one when all is said and done. Nade falls a little bit short. Could have been 2 to the top of boxes and done a ton of damage, but they aren't thrown strong enough.
Man, utility being thrown all over, but that is a readjustment from Poison that primes Complexity here in a 5v4.
Yeah. like lightning. Hits that shot in and out. He falls back into the site. And now Vitality have to regroup, reorganize. Because it looked like they were going to follow up on that trade, maybe attack the B site once again. Here now. They wait for Complexity to make a grave mistake, and this is not something that they have any reason to do. And there's not any reason for us to believe that they're going to do something stupid. They've been pretty good in these 5v4 situations.
Yep.
Blame F again. When we look at the setup, he's the one player who has two things to worry about. That's connector and window. And he's the one who maybe is going to move, if anything.
If needed. Like you said, there's no reason to believe Complexity should fumble this. They have played with discipline. And they're going to need it now more than ever. 35 seconds. And you know Vitality are coming to this B-bomb site.
Yeah.
Apex, he's going to try to get that flashbang over. Poison, before being blinded, topples one, and he's ready for the next. It's a duo of ops. Oh, it's a thing of beauty. Jesus. 3 from Poison, 1 off config. Looked like Vitality never stood a chance.
Yeah, they just put up a wall. There was no chance to get through it. That was it. That they just looked through the window, and that's how you like think about the B site. This window that you have to cross, the only one that you can jump out of. Here's a shot that you need to hit. And it's the guy who started off the round, the guy who always also locks it up, and the guy who was so sick in yesterday's series versus Astralis. It's your boy, Poison.
Poison, man. I mean, just for him to go for that, like, you know, the deep B apps line of sight, that's a warning shot, if anything. He re-peeks into ZywOo, who was ready for him. ZywOo! And yet still adjusts the crosshair in time, but here we go. Looking to sink their teeth into the B site. Config's gonna do good damage, but it's just pistols, and he is overwhelmed. ZywOo taking 2, of course. Those P250s. Deadly.
Oh, not only is that entry, you think that entry is what locks it up. He'll jump through, grab the op, take out the other opper, the guy who just shut them down last round, and make it a 4-on-2. It should have been him dying after getting a single kill, and now it's suddenly Vitality to not only win the round, keep 4 alive, own a round that they save, and kill everybody on Complexity. Blame F, the only one left over.
And it's, I mean, what an analogy. Complexity, the round before, played textbook on the B site. They're doing everything correctly. It looked great, but that is the ZywOo factor. That's what Vitality have in their back pocket.
Yeah, it's a good, you know, it's something we talked about, and like, he's not going up against an opper either. He takes out the opper first, then transfers after getting a headshot into killing somebody who's shooting back at him. 1 bullet, he's dead. 1 bullet, he's dead, and Vitality probably lose that round 9 times out of 10. But that's not the version of reality that we get to see. Yeah, op goes down first. All Obo needed to do is hit 1 of those bullets. But of course, ZywOo's got to make it so efficient. Just hit every single bullet himself with a sidearm, no less. Insane stuff. Yeah, 10-13. Vitality definitely back into this. They've got into double digits. We're too far away from the end of the map to call it. It looks like they've already made a decision about how to play this round.
What an awesome time for that to come out of nowhere as well. Just gonna keep Complexity on their toes. Ooh, and here's Poison with Rush combining on the A site, but caught fumbling. And that's gonna cost them. Bomb not yet picked back up. Shox wants to play the after plant towards ramp. ZywOo's gonna give the cover here from Palace, and Complexity have a chance to work their way over.
Yeah.
Nobody yet over towards Ticket. Obo blind frag through smoke. Not gonna hit the mark. Apex, he'll try. Again, insignificant. The dodge. The bullets just zing by, and Obo's position known. Here comes Apex traded. He tries to make something happen. He's gonna leave his team 2 versus 2. There's still plenty of utility. They could even smoke off this bomb and then some. You see Vitality wary of a flank that is non-existent, and Blame F's now got his sight. He's crossed on over, and he's covered inside of the smoke. He's not yet on that bomb, but it doesn't matter. They've got both kills, and it's gonna come down to the wire. Ooh, they nail it. 14 rounds for Complexity.
Damn, they pull it off. I wonder if it made sense for Apex to be that far out in the 3v2. I love how they exploded onto the site, and then they pulled back and paused, waited, threw their smokes down, connector and jungle, and then decided to attack again. But Apex starts to string out, moving into jungle, looking for 2 kills, and ends up going 1 for 1. This gives them a chance back into the round. As you pointed out, there was enough utility to make that feasible for the CTs. Could have been a bit risky there. Can't pin it to one player's mistake or decision to be aggressive. Could have been a calm for him to try to go out and make something happen. We don't know, but you know, you certainly think in that 3v2 they have a chance to win. just holding back. Either way, it's Complexity now teetering on a win here on Mirage. They're up to 14. Luckily for Vitality, they've got more than enough money to put together a healthy buy. They have the AWP in play. Everybody else has got the guns and utility they need. What is the strategy? We've seen so many different things so far. A lot of them have been fast, and a lot of them have been very light on grenades. So I wouldn't even call that a negative for them. They've been able to catch Complexity off guard because it seems like Complexity, they feel like, are just too prepared for these telegraphed smokes and flashes that come cascading over into their sights. Instead, they just try to run out and take fights instantly. It works out really well. But now we've got a stringent default. Look at the position of the bomb. It's not in anyone's back, so they're not trying to execute quickly. In fact, the closest man to get it, I mean, he's got his hands full right now. Top mid, spotting, waiting for pushes. RPK could potentially go grab it.
Yeah, Vitality, they start this round spread as thin as possible. RPK goes for the underpass escort, doubles back, ensures that Apartments hasn't been pushed by Complexity. We haven't seen Complexity nearly as aggressive as Vitality at times, and I think that's fair. That's fine. They've done an excellent job of just anchoring bomb sites.
Look at this. It's just a smoke exchange. All of the bait grenades are coming out for both teams. This can favor Vitality. BlameF, however, gets a man advantage. I'll take that over a few pieces of smoke any day. What a shot from Poison.
But he gets caught. Blindsided by Shox, however, bomb, it's been taken. And a Molotov from Rush, that's just gonna allow for him to pin himself into the corner. He even has the gall to jump back across. But Shox knows that there are sharks circling in the water. A follow-up frag grenade that does 0 damage. Shox is gonna get tagged up from behind as Config decides to go over his smoke, and now they know where both are. Vitality's members called out and taken down. That's Complexity, 15-10.
Yeah, they were just getting circled that entire point after they got the kills on the A site. BlameF, opening frag in CPL, so critical, and then it just tumbles from there. Again, Complexity went around cleanly after making it a 5v4 nice and early, but just such a beautiful moment there from Poison, showing how calm and patient he is,
right,
and just how accurate in general. Like, he's always going to hit that shot if you give him a bit too much time.
You know, that millisecond before he pulls the trigger, that's like pulling the cork on the bottle and just enjoying the fine wine.
The aromas brought across the tongue.
And then,
oaky undertones.
Just splashes him on the top of staircase. Awesome time for Poison to pull out that kill. And look at the result of this. Vitality relegated to an awful bye. But it's not over. 5 map points here on Mirage. They have the utility to make something of this.
They've done more with less, I want to say. They've been very good at working with what they've got. BlameF keeping an eye on window. Running up hard and then falling back quickly. Pressure on him. Connector players are out. Lots of footsteps being made. 2 headshots. Clean. Can he make it 3? It's actually Rush to join him in tandem, and that's it!
So clean from Complexity. 16-10 on Mirage. They are 3-0 in maps here in the Group of Death. A place that we thought they had no chance.